Hey everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. If you want to eat some lunch and you got a big hat, we got the day to do it. It is June 11th out at Ellendale. It's the Big Brims and Healthy Skin. It's a luncheon to raise awareness for melanoma, and it'll be out at Ellendale on June 11th at noon. There's a champagne reception, a hat contest, bingo, raffle. A lot of good stuff going on there. And you see Dr. Alexis Duke will be there to talk as the presenting sponsor as well. Lane Bordelon and Tiffany Adams are here. Lane is the development coordinator at Terrebonne General and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. And Tiffany Adams, of course, the event chair and melanoma survivor. Girls, thanks so much for being with us. Love your hats, man. I should have worn mine.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So let's talk about this event and tell me a little bit about the role and what you guys are doing.
So as you mentioned, I'm the development coordinator over at the Cancer Center. So my role is really to work with the community and raise money to support all of the different philanthropic efforts that we have within the center. And Tiffany is a friend of mine, and we have been kind of brewing on this idea for a few years now. And last year we were able to put our plan into action after a couple years of issues, as everyone is aware.
Everybody comes out here. We go, 2 years of COVID, and 1 year of a hurricane. It's good to be out there. But so the Big Brim and Healthy Skin, what does this promote? No, obviously, melanoma.
Yeah, so we just want people to have fun while talking about being safe in the sun. And the hats come in because this is a great way to protect your sensitive faces from UV exposure. And we want to raise money to be able to give people more free skin cancer screenings out in the community. We do have our early bird mobile clinic, which you may see out at, a Walmart parking lot or down the Bayou or at the Best Buy on Martin Luther King, where we have free opportunities for people to come and get cancer screenings, say on a weekend, if they don't have the kind of job where they can take off for that kind of preventive care. So our vision is that this event is going to raise money so that we can provide more free screenings for people in our area.
Y'all expecting a pretty big crowd, and Tiffany, on your little hashtag, it had melanoma survivor. So this is a big event for you, obviously, right?
It is. It means a lot to me. I've always, held Terrebonne General Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center near and dear to my heart. I've volunteered there for numerous years. I worked there actually for a little while. And when I initially got the diagnosis of having melanoma in May of 2019, I knew immediately that I needed to do something and give back. And so whenever I had my first diagnosis in May of 2019, and 4 weeks later, I had my second diagnosis of melanoma. And so then it really hit hard, as you can imagine. And so I immediately went to Lane and was like, we have to do something. And as she mentioned, we would love to have done something right then, but unfortunately we had the pandemic followed by a hurricane. So
you didn't get to enjoy the LSU and undefeated season in 19, right?
That's right.
You were worried about something else at that time.
Just a little bit.
Then you get the other things that were going on. So it's good. So the passion, that's obviously why, but is that something that runs in your family?
Not skin cancer and not melanoma. My mother is a breast cancer survivor. My uncle actually had another form of not skin cancer, but cancer. So it was a shock. But I grew up in the sun. We live in Sportsman's Paradise. Sure. So being from North Louisiana, I've fished all my life. Was out in the sun. I was a lifeguard for a number of years. I did not listen to my mother, which I hope my children are not listening. So I did not wear sunscreen like I should have growing up, and would lay out in the sun with baby oil because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and would lay in a tanning bed. And so, doing those things, I paid
Do you think
the price.
that's a direct correlation to that?
I do. I absolutely do. And so just knowing that we live in a place where we are constantly in the sun with our children's sporting events, the industries that we have in our area, whether it be fishing industries, the oil and gas industries, with people being on rigs or boats, and just our lives in general, you know. we needed to promote.
And I shouldn't even say that, right?
Right.
But thing used to be you can't be too thin, too tan, or too rich, right? And
Right,
so,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And so people need to understand that, just when I received this diagnosis of having skin cancer, it didn't mean that I had to not go out in the sun. You just have
Right.
to be smart.
Yeah.
And how do you do
right.
that? And so we need to inform people about, being educated, protection, prevention, and screenings.
Yeah, Lane, it'll be at Ellendale, right? So
Yes.
you said y'all 80 last time, bigger crowd this time.
Yes, we're already at our tickets sold is greater than we were on the day of the event last year. So I do expect a much bigger crowd. I expect we will sell out.
And Dr. Duke will be there. And so what'll
Yes.
go on exactly?
So Dr. Alexis Duke is a dermatologist here in town. She is our presenting sponsor and the educational speaker. So she is going to give us a very thorough presentation about what to look for, what signs should alarm you and, get you to the doctor right away. Tell you about getting screened on a regular basis, how to do regular body checks on yourself so you know when there are changes happening. A lot of really great information. And after we hear from her, we are going to play bingo. There will be a hat contest, a raffle. So it'll be fun. It won't all be medical.
Right. And look, there's a lot of good things, and that was part of COVID. It was like, hey, get outside. We need vitamin D. So I think you're right. Don't just stay inside and be afraid that something's going to happen. Get outside, but make sure you wear protection. Tell us a little bit more about the contest and how is this going to look like Kentucky Derby or something? What's going on?
So last year it was fun to see what people came up with, and this is our second time around. So I'm expecting people to hopefully step it up a little more after seeing the competition. This is actually the hat I decorated last year. I won't be wearing this one again, but I wanted to show an example. But they can be DIY with just some florals from the craft store. Some people did very on theme with little tiny bottles of sunscreen all over their hat. Some were just very over the top and huge and tall. Some are store bought. So really anything goes.
Right.
So.
And big event, obviously there's sponsors involved, and I'm sure they'll be handing out goodies for everybody too, right?
Yes, we have some great sponsors on board. Like I mentioned, Dr. Alexis Duke is our presenting sponsor. We also have Lewis Mohana Furniture, Synergy Bank, the Terrebonne General Volunteer Auxiliary, Rao Plastic Surgery, Dr. and Mrs. Tip Ben Adams, Mr. and Mrs. Mark Welch. Let's see, I have a whole list so I don't forget anyone. I got them all.
All right.
A+.
Hey, Tiffany, we talked about in today's world trying to be protective. Wearing clothing better than wearing sunscreen, or does it make a difference? Or what's our procedure nowadays?
Well, I don't really want to speak to that.
Oh, you're right.
Unfortunately,
And I'm
Dr.
sorry.
Duke
Yeah,
is not here.
right.
I wish she could have been here, but I think a combination of both. That's what I'm going to go with. I can speak what we do in my family, and that is that I preach 100% all the time. If you're going outside, you wear your sunscreen. And my children know that. My husband knows that. But we also do wear protective clothing. Bigger hats. Sun shirts, whether it's fishing. We fish a lot in my family. We go to the beach a lot, vacation a lot in the sun. And so we do wear lots of protective clothing.
And you can be fashionable, right? Doing
Absolutely,
it right,
100%.
You don't have to bundle up in
No,
a towel
no,
on
no,
the beach.
no.
And just play it smart, probably the time of day too, right? Exposure and the time you're
Correct,
out there, those
correct.
kind of things. The proceeds, where does this go?
So all of the funds raised that day are going to benefit the Cancer Center and go towards funding those free screening opportunities in the community. And actually, anyone who attends the event will have the chance to go ahead and make an appointment for a screening. We have a free event set up in August. I don't know the exact date, but we're going to have a member of our prevention team out there to talk with anyone who's interested and get them signed up for a free screening.
You said you have a traveling.
Yes, we have a large motor coach called the Early Bird, and it goes out to many different places in the community.
Have we seen a change in melanoma over the year? I don't know if you have a percentage, if y'all follow that data, that kind of stuff. Does cancer rates change, go more lung cancer back when we all smoked? Is it going more to melanomas now? Is there any research on that?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm not aware of those trends.
I shouldn't ask you a question like that, right? But no, I'm just curious. I do hear a lot of people that end up in Little Rock a lot of times, or different facilities, and you're like, what is that? It's specialty places, but you guys handle that all here.
Yeah, and the thing about skin cancer, melanoma, and all different types of skin cancer is that they do present signs. So it's one of those cancers that are preventable
Right.
if people would just do their due diligence and take care of themselves and get screened on a regular basis.
Right. So if you can't attend the event, is there a way to get involved?
Oh, absolutely. You can go to that website that was up earlier. It's bigbrims.gibsmart.com. And you can buy raffle tickets. You don't have to be present to participate in the raffle. You can make donations from there. And it's the same website. If you text Big Brims to 76278, that takes you to the same place. But you can make a donation from there. We're always looking for volunteers to help out at our events. So there's always that opportunity as well.
And tickets, that's what we're saying. That's where you go
Yes.
for tickets?
Everything, tickets to the event, raffle tickets, donations can all be done at that location.
Okay. So Tiffany, as people come in, do you, as a survivor, do you talk to a lot of people that are going through similar things nowadays?
I do. It's amazing that it is more prevalent than what you think. And with any cancer, it doesn't discriminate. And so that is another thing, going back to my passion, is that I just want people to be aware, and it kind of goes back to what Lane said, is that early detection is the key with skin cancers. If you see something that's abnormal, have it checked out, because getting it detected and getting it seen early can save your life.
Right. And again, I shouldn't ask questions I don't know, but 2019 wasn't that long ago. How are you doing now?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I had 2 surgeries because mine were caught fairly early. I have some large scars, but that's okay. I don't mind that. But I was very blessed. I was very lucky.
You're good to go.
And I'm good. I have screenings several times a year. Dr. Duke stays on top of that.
Right. But that's a great success story,
yes.
and it tells you exactly. You said you were 46.
46, yes.
So when you it tells you a lot about how you can you stay on top of it, and it's
Right.
treatable.
Right,
Which
absolutely.
Lane was talking to
Absolutely.
earlier. So all right. So one more time, it'll be June 11th at noon at Ellendale Country Club. Again, you see how to get involved. Get your tickets and get your hat and get on out there, guys. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be right back for more Bayou Time right after this.